We're live. First show of the off season. We're
2026
gonna
season.
donate money to Underdog here.
2026 season coming back strong. Little pre-draft underdog.
First draft of the year.
105, 112, 4.
RUP.
How many more are we waiting for? Are we a couple? So, do you want to give a little recap of how you finished off last season? Any good finishes?
Yeah. No, I mean I donated a lot. The year before we made it to the finals, but this year's a little disappointing. We
You
didn't
were
have
close on a couple finals.
I was close. I think I initially advanced like 40 teams, maybe around 40. I'd have to look, but none of them made it to the final week.
Yeah, I had similar results. I didn't have as many teams drafted, but I had 2 or 3 teams make it to the semis. No teams made it to the finals. I missed out on 2 finals by a handful of points. Like Luke said, probably a little disappointing for the effort that we put in.
It was definitely disappointing, but I mean, you had Kyle Pitts go off.
Yeah, and I think the more of the story is, I mean, it takes good effort to make it to the semis itself. Once you get into the playoff rounds, there's so much variance in the spike weeks for some random players and stuff. So there is some variance to a stroke of luck to some extent, but overall not a terrible showing. So we'll see.
I mean, the players that did go off, like I honestly kind of hated, like Chris Olave, like for the Saints, you didn't really see. You couldn't envision Tyler Show being, or I don't know if I said that right, but like being good for the Saints. I mean, Spencer Rattler was the starter before the season, and then I mean, Kyle Pitts has always been Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, there was definitely some spike weeks for some unsuspecting players. So some teams that made it to the playoffs who had those guys obviously advanced maybe further than they expected to. Just having the right amounts of teams with those different players that you might not expect to do so well, obviously they can pan out in the end. So that's what really matters.
I wonder if this is going to even fill.
Looks like we're waiting on 3 more. Do you have any hot takes for any like first round players or players that you're completely fading in the first round?
Not yet. I think this is my first like draft. Just kind of see the board, and then maybe on the next one I have some more. But I mean, I think Gibbs is my number 1 overall player. I mean, just better offense, better offensive line. I think they're going to score more touchdowns. So, and also no David Montgomery.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think the argument could be made for Gibbs or Bijan, but the fact that Montgomery left and those touches were voided too, I think Pacheco took over his spot, and he is not nearly as big of a threat as Montgomery was.
I mean, Tyler Algier left too, but I don't know. I like the Detroit offense better personally.
Yeah, I think the argument can be made for either guy, but I don't think if you're in the top 2 spots, I think the decision's pretty easy. Whoever falls to you. So
I'm probably take some rehab Puka here.
Yeah,
I'd probably have rehab Puka over Chase, and then JSN after that. But
yeah, I think that first tier of receivers is relatively flat. It's kind of pick your poison. Who do you like the best out of those 3?
Mm-hmm.
I think I personally would probably still lean Chase, but I can't argue the fact for anybody who would want to go Puka or JSN. I think, like I said, it's all just kind of what flavor do you like at that time, and try to get your exposures where you can.
How do you feel about Jefferson with the hamster at quarterback?
I think it's going to be better than it was last year. I think it should rebound up more toward what you were seeing previously. Obviously, it's a new system. It's a new quarterback, so you have to expect some bumps along the way, but he's obviously one of the most talented receivers. So I think he should still be being drafted in the first round.
Yeah, I agree. My first initial look at it, though, I like Amon-Ra a lot better than Jefferson. I just think it's safer.
Yeah, no, I actually agree. I could see the upside with Jefferson, but Amon-Ra has just been so steady the last handful of years. I think he's one of my favorite clicks in the first round. He was last year as well. That panned out. He was a top 3 receiver. I just think you're so safe with that offense. It's so high powered. They love throwing the ball, even with Gibbs there. So I don't think you can go wrong with an.
We got Kanye West in our lobby.
Nice. That's what we like. So we do have the 6th pick. We'll try to do our best to recap our picks as we go, kind of give some insight as to what we're thinking, why we pick what we pick. But 6 overall isn't bad. It gives you a little bit of time in between your picks, and you're not getting. Hopefully, you don't get shut out at a specific position. It gives you some time to pace out your picks instead of having 18 picks in between. So 6, like I said, I think the two top backs will be off the board, maybe the 3 top receivers. So we might have our pick between either one of the running backs or one of the receivers, unless one of those top 5 falls.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be hard not to take I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna take more McCaffrey this year after seeing him last year. Just hope he doesn't.
It's a polarizing pick. Some people think when is the year that he's gonna fall off, or could he still be the guy? So I love McCaffrey. I'm not opposed to taking him either, but we'll have to see what happens here. So Genty went 3. That's a reach, but that'll set us up nicely. We'll get one of the top receivers. So no complaints.
Yes, and rehab Puka at 6 would be pretty nice here.
Oh, either of those guys, I'm thrilled with. I don't mind people taking their picks if they think Genty's going to take that.
Oh, they're going to get some rehab Puka falling here. I think this is the guy you're looking for. This is an easy flick, right?
No brainer for Puka there.
I think Kenneth Walker is going to rise up boards as the summer goes along.
He and Rashee Rice with no allegations. I think that Kansas City offense is poised. But I think getting Puka there is a great start. Obviously, you've seen the last couple of years, even barring a few injury games, he just has his floor is so high when he is out there.
Trey McBride has overpassed Brock Bowers this year on the ADP.
Yeah, I think he's been more consistent for sure. Yeah. That offense, even with a new quarterback, who knows what it can be. So.
Jeremiah Love at 17, that's a stay away from me.
It's hard I do have trouble drafting, especially running backs that early. I mean, you should have the draft capital. We should be the go-to guy, but you just don't really know what you're getting your hands on with some of those other more proven backs around him or some of the receivers. In my opinion, I agree. I think there's safer picks out there.
Neighbors. I want to get McBride here if you fell.
Sure. Yeah, I like McBride there. I like getting the elite tight end in the 2nd round, either Bowers or McBride, if it falls to you in the right spot. I think, like I said, having those onesies that are kind of elite, they do help. I think they are better for advance rate, so I'm definitely not opposed to it.
Saquon's falling here pretty heavy. I'm not a huge Saquon guy anymore. Would you rather have Trey McBride or Derrick Henry?
We pick again in...
We're up right now.
Yeah, I'm just saying what we would have on the next turn. I'm not opposed to going tight end unless you like Henry. I'm not opposed to Henry either. I think those would be my 2 picks.
Probably we got Jacoby Brissett in the back, so let's just ride McBride. Hope he scores touchdowns again.
Yeah. Plus, I think we'll have more options at back than we will if these 2 tight ends get taken off the board. So if we wanted to go back
to this a little bit, huh? See the board better. Is that better?
Yeah, that's good. And you can also switch over to the board tab if you wanted to. In between picks. There you go.
Jeremiah Love at 20 or 28. I don't know about that.
The upside, like I said, the upside's there. But so we start off with a receiver, tight end. We do take the first tight end off the board.
I actually love our team so far.
2 picks, but
you're not going to be able to get this team in the summer.
Probably not. I do think it's probably unique to some extent, but we'll see what the next year is.
Well, Puka's probably falling a bit in these drafts because he's in rehab, but he's going to be fine.
I think anytime you get Puka outside the top 5, you're probably in pretty good shape. But.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just Chris Olave now going into the return. I mean. After what he did in the end of the season, I don't see that.
Little run on receivers here. Who you can switch back over receivers.
Nico's first rounder or last year?
Yeah, falling a little bit. Stroud
fell off. How do I go back?
Should be there you go.
Okay. So we're up right now. Josh Allen here. ETN with New Orleans is a little bit interesting. He's probably gonna get a lot of carries. We got a quick
being that we went onesie already, I would probably lean running back here.
How do you feel
Do
about
you like
ETN?
ETN or Brees?
Yeah, I'd say ETN. I think he's maybe more upside in the offense.
Sure.
Tyler Show got a lot of rushing touchdowns last year, so maybe they're gonna just. I mean, Kamara is really his career is kind of over in my
Yeah, I was
opinion.
gonna
So
say, I think ETN showed his pop last year. He definitely has some more juice in his legs if
yeah,
healthy. Kamara is obviously, I think he hit that wall at the end of last year. So who knows if he'll even be with the team? They talk maybe a trade or something along those lines.
yeah.
I think ETN has a ton of upside, like I mentioned, and it's going to get a running back on the board in the third round. That way, you're not feeling so pressed in the middle rounds, reaching for somebody you might not like as much.
I mean, the clock is so quick too; it's kind of hard to almost
Yeah,
discuss the answer. So maybe
I
once
feel like
we
this is
get
more of
closer
a
to the pick, we can start.
yeah.
Maybe
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like you see who you like, you make your pick, and then you kind of discuss why or what your thoughts are. So,
yeah.
like I
No,
said, first draft
this
will
clock just is like
the 20-second clocks are definitely
I
fast.
need like a minute one. Yeah.
So up in
Jalen
three,
Waddle, Denver, Travion, England. My favorite player on the board right now is probably Mike Evans or Luther Burden. I don't really love the Bucky situation with
you're out on
our
Bucky with Kenneth
boy
Walker there,
going to Tampa.
or not Kenneth Walker, Kenneth Gainwell.
Well,
I'm
Lad,
not I'm not
Bucky.
fully out on Bucky, but I do like I'm
Really,
not a huge
how do you feel
lad guy. I
about
like Evans.
Mike Evans? Mike Evans with Purdy?
Yeah, I think he's
I
going to
love
be their
that.
true number one.
Me too. Like I'm gonna ride Mike Evans till the wheels fall off. I mean, you're gonna miss some games with the hamstring, but there's a chance he just goes crazy with
I mean, that
Purdy
offense
for a
is
while.
always so efficient, and for him to be the number one option there, like a true one in a
Yeah.
new system, like a prove it year after all those years in Tampa, I still think he has juice in the tank as well.
Yeah, I think this could be like a Devontae Adams Rams type season for Mike Evans, where he just has like a ton of touchdowns.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you saw the formula, like you had said, whenever those guys switch teams and they have those like takeoff years. Devontae did it with all of his touchdowns. He's basically the same archetype of receiver, the big end zone threat. I could easily see him going for double digit touchdowns, and at that cost in the fourth round, that's what you're looking for.
Who I really want to get on our team is Chris Rodriguez. There's a chance he might just get more carries than Tootin, who's going at 55. Yeah. So if we have to reach for Chris Rodriguez,
if he's one of your guys, we can mark him up. But I think it's still a little early. We could probably get him a few rounds.
Yeah, no, not right now. But I'm just saying, I think he's got to get on.
That's a good take. I don't hate that. I'm not as big on Rodriguez, but I see that. How you can paint the picture.
The logic behind that is, I think after contact, he had like the best yards per carry in the league, and they're going to want to run the ball. So,
and if you're not a Tootin believer, if you don't think he has the legs, or Rodriguez might just be the better back, he could end up taking over that number one spot role. And if that offense is as good as people are making out to be,
Carnell Tate is kind of sneaky here. I mean, he's going to go top 6 this year. Same with Lemon, because he might go to the Rams.
So we're on the clock here. I think we already discussed Tootin is and no. I'm not in love with these backs. I would take receiver as well.
DJ Moore maybe, or Rome.
I like Moore. If you like Tate, I could go that direction as well. But I like Moore being new offense.
We could just sprinkle that with get some Josh Allen there for the Bills. I mean, I'm not in love with DJ Moore as a player, but
anytime you get Josh Allen's number one receiver,
yeah,
ideally
as our third receiver, that's not bad.
Yeah, the most talented receiver he's had in a while.
No, I think we're getting a little old here at receiver, so I don't mind starting to get younger after that. We got 2 safe.
Yeah. I mean, there's a pocket later in the drafts with a lot of rookies, like incoming rookies that have first-round capital or projected first-round capital that you can get pretty cheap. And I like getting some like true known receivers like we have, like the Moores, the Evans, and then tacking on some of those later first-round prospects.
I'd like to get maybe Jordan Tyson. We get someone like Jordan Tyson.
Yep. There's even some other names down that are further, like Omar Cooper, Casey Concepcion, like those guys. Like they have projected first round. If they get taken in the first round, they're going to be top 50 picks, and you can get them right now in the 8th, 9th, 10th round.
We could get a nice little Cardinal stack here with Michael Wilson as well, with Pride, and then
Let's check what the board says.
Receiver even looks deeper this year after all these first rounders coming in. Jeez. We kind of need a back.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's not. We'll see who's available, but we don't want to reach for a back either. We gotta let the board on this a little bit, but.
Parker Washington, I don't hate that here.
Or if you wanted to look for our first quarterback, if we wanted to go, like I'm not in love with any of these guys unless you want to take another receiver or something like that. We could go
about Metcalf. Would you rather have Michael Wilson or Metcalf, Parker Washington?
I don't love any of them. What about? I'm not opposed. I mean, I could go if you liked one of those guys. I'm not opposed to one of them. Just reach and bringing up our guy.
Yeah, we got Jaden.
Honestly, that's I kind of was leaning toward quarterback there because I've noticed I have done a handful of drafts just out of curiosity to see where things stand, and I feel like quarterbacks, there's a run on quarterbacks around this range. So if you can get your hands on one of these elite upper tier quarterbacks and then maybe tack on one other mid tier quarterback in the middle, like 8 through 12 rounds, your team will feel a lot better than kind of feeling pressure to grab those guys in the middle.
I don't hate getting Jaden here. I mean, there's good upside.
He has the rushing upside. I think he has options where you could stack him a little bit later as well, if you're looking to do that. But I don't mind grabbing our first quarterback there. I didn't love any of the receivers. We could have reached for one of the guys if we had a strong conviction for him, but I'm fine with that. And I think in our next picks coming up, we should look to prioritize maybe a back and then see if anybody else looks or jumps out to us.
Michael Wilson just went crazy last year. He's kind of my sleeper of the year this year. But we also could get a safe pick with Jalen Warren. So kind of just.
Well, if Mike Wilson's your guy, we're right around ADP for him. So there's no reason not to scoop him. And then.
I think, that's scooping because then we get the stack with Trey McBride. So we got
we can always have Brissett's draft capital wasn't as high, so he's an easy back stack.
He had 126 targets last year, so that Michael Wilson is like the kind of like fantasy player like I always target, like safe, consistent, like always going to score you points.
Sure, especially as your wide receiver 4. I don't hate that at all.
Yeah.
So quick draft recap: we have Jaden Daniels at quarterback. We have ETN at running back. We have 4 receivers with Puka, Evans, DJ Moore, and Michael Wilson. And then we have McBride at tight end. So relatively balanced. We have both the onesies taken care of with Daniels and McBride. Only 1 running back through 7 picks, and then 4 strong receivers. So I think we do have to focus on coming up. But
dude, the receivers are so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wouldn't hate getting Dowdle fall to us.
Sure. Like I said, I think this is where you got to take some picks, just kind of take your medicine, take some swings at some running backs who might not be the sexy picks, but that can still be productive for your starting lineup.
This is like the deepest year of receiver I can ever remember.
Yeah. I like a lot of these receiver prospects coming in as well.
Yeah.
So we're up in.
I don't hate getting Dobbins. I know he's been injury prone, but
I like Dobbins a lot. Honestly, I don't think Harvey did anything to.
Really I don't think Harvey's very good. No, I don't think Harvey's that good.
So I think they leaned on Dobbins when he was healthy. He was very productive when he was out there. I don't think much is going to change this year unless they draft a guy coming in. So
I think we should take Dobbins here. I think he's going to get the most work.
I like Dobbins. I think he's safe. I think he's been consistent. He's a good floor guy. I think that's a solid pick for us to fill out a second running back.
For sure.
So we got a handful of picks. Still a handful of quarterbacks on the board. I don't think we need to prioritize quarterback just yet. For our second pick, we could look at another running back if anybody stands out to you, or like I said,
we could get a Puka stack here. I don't know how much important that is, but we're kind of thin at running back, so.
Yeah, and I think Puka's one of those receivers where it's nice to stack him, but at the same time, his production is so good that he might not need stack. Like he can be a solo.
Yeah, like when we did the playoff BestBall, we didn't really stack him with Stafford. There
is one back that if Corum is available, I I think he could be just as good of a back as
Me too, given the
Kyrie.
opportunity. Yeah.
They showed it was like a 55-45 split at the end of the year, and Blake Corum was getting the important touches around the goal line.
Yeah,
So
I don't
they
hate
might
that
just not
for
trust
him.
Kyron, and you're still getting some juice even as a number 2 back. If Kyron does go down, Corum's going to take over that backfield and be uber productive, in my opinion. So
Yeah. Malik Willis going pretty late. I mean, he's been going insane in fantasy when he gets the chance. So
yeah, and he's another one where you don't necessarily need to stack. He has the running upside, so I don't hate even a naked Malik Willis if that's an
yeah,
option that we're looking for down the line.
I watched a lot of Bucks games last year, like because Bucky's on my dynasty team, and also I was living in Tampa, but he looked pretty terrible. And you know who was the best Steelers running back last year? Kenneth Gainwell. So it's also sneaky.
Yeah, I mean, and he would show what he can do around the goal line. He's not the biggest, strongest back, but he's able to catch the ball. He's shown pedigree and he's able to score. So I'm not opposed to Gainwell's upside.
I think getting Corum here is decent value. I mean,
especially for our room,
we just need some people who get touches. Like at this point, we're not.
I like Corum there a lot, actually. Like I said, I think he has standalone value as even a backup running back and has the upside to be a top 10 running back if Kyron does go down, or if they lose faith in Kyron. They've shown the ability to lean on Corum at times.
Team's
so
actually pretty good for my first draft of the year.
Yeah, I think we're pretty stable. We have both of our onesies. Like I said, we have an elite quarterback. We have an elite tight end, 3 solid running backs, and 4 solid receivers to start the draft. I think this gives us the freedom to kind of go in any direction in these next few rounds.
Yeah. The nice thing about getting McBride in the second is we just have more flexibility to like.
Yep. There's no need to take 3 middle round tight ends. You could tack on a second or third tight end at the end, but he really gives you the flexibility to attack some of these more important positions than the rounds.
I don't hate Josh Downs this year. I mean, Pittman's gone to the Colts, so
with Pittman gone, obviously Pierce they paid the man. That's probably going to be their go-to. But Downs has shown the ability to earn volume targets, and I think he's a third-year guy who might be able to take that next step.
Yeah. Honestly, if we could somehow get like Gainwell here, or he just went. I mean, Tony Pollard's still going to get carries next year, but there's a chance they draft Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, that's the fallback.
Stay away. I do think Chris Rodriguez is going to play a lot. They did play Etienne and Tootin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to just hand the keys off to Tootin. But Josh Downs here, he's around at ADP. Do you like Downs here? Do you want to go back?
Breakout upside would be a nice addition to the receiver room. I'm down with.
I don't hate getting Downs here. I think he's gonna have a better season than last year. A lot of targets out the Pittman are gonna have to go elsewhere. So
yeah, I think we'll have more opportunity to produce here.
I think our wide receiver is 1, 2, 3.
In these early contests too, it's 20 rounds, so we'll be able to build out a little bit more the receiver room. So I know you like Chris Rodriguez. He's right around our next pick.
I would want him. Yeah, I think he's gonna. I mean, unless things change in camp and he just sucks, I think he's actually gonna play. Actually, the established the run guys think Chris Rodriguez is gonna be the bell cow.
If Rodriguez does end up getting picked, we also we have some I think our next focus might need to be quarterback. I know you mentioned Malik Willis as well.
Yeah, I would like to take Malik Willis here if we could, just for rushing upside. Also, like just if you saw in the fantasy playoffs, he just went insane. Actually, he won me one of my dynasty leagues.
Yes, I think with this next pick, we have at least 2 options that we like. Hopefully, one of them falls back to us.
Yeah. Jake Ferguson actually was really consistent last year too.
Yeah. He's another volume guy and a target earner in that Dallas offense who obviously loves to throw the ball a lot.
For me, Kittle, I don't want Kittle. I don't want too many mouths to feed in Houston. I think Stroud stinks. So, I mean, this is decent value on Omar Cooper if he goes in the first round. You're getting him.
I know this is the window starting around here with Cooper. There's a couple other names. I think Concepcion already went, but I love Omar Cooper. We might even be able to push him to our next pick.
Yeah, I would take him at our next pick just because he might actually go in the first round. And
I think he has a good chance to be drafted in the first. And like as I mentioned, if you're getting a first round receiver with your 10th, 11th, 12th round pick in these drafts, his draft capital is only going to go up in the future.
I think we need running back really bad.
So that's fine. Like I said, both of our guys, Willis and Rodriguez, are there. If you like Rodriguez, we can go Rodriguez. But I do think we might have to prioritize quarterback coming up.
Yeah, we can start getting quarterback. I just think it's going to get thinner here at running back than it will be.
Can you switch on to the quarterback tab just to see which guys are left? Because we definitely need at least one starting quarterback. All right, there's still some names.
Yeah, I mean, we can get the Jacoby stack later.
Definitely. I think we can get the Jacoby in maybe 2 rounds. I wouldn't mind getting I mean, it would be amazing if Willis fell to us.
Yeah.
But if we can get I don't know, receiver-wise, if we have any other stacking options, but tack on like a Bryce Young or to go with a Brissett or something.
Yeah, we even have a stack here, Daniel Jones and Josh Downs.
Yeah, we could obviously do Jones after that as well.
Not a huge Jones guy, but he did show that rushing upside last year. So
yeah, so Willis went a few picks before. I don't think we have any.
I think that was kind of one of the situations where I take Rodriguez here, but the next time I would take Willis. So
yeah, just to diversify. And like I said, it's all about roster construction as well. So I think there's a time where maybe it makes sense to build out your quarterback room a little bit more. But if you have your conviction, like I said, on those backs, and you're only drafting a handful of teams, then you got to just mix up your.
Now we're up in 2 picks. Who do you want to take here? Denzel Boston also could maybe go.
Yeah, I like Boston. If we wanted to get a second tight end here with Sadiq, we could do that. Or if you like, we had also mentioned Daniel Jones.
Sadiq could be interesting. Yeah.
I'm good with either Sadiq or Daniel Jones here.
Yeah, let's go Daniel Jones. Rookie tight end, just really rare, I think.
I think Jones is a bigger need for our team right now. Like I said,
I think so too.
Kind of, we lean on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't take
the draft capital on Sadiq yet.
Yeah.
But getting 2 viable starting quarterbacks is essential. You assume Daniel Jones, if he's not ready for the beginning of the year, hopefully he's back within the first few weeks. And last year he was a stud in fantasy whenever he was out there. So.
Mm-hmm. James Conner looking like decent value here, honestly.
That backfield's getting crowded, and he is getting older, but I don't hate the pick. See, this round, Denzel Boston just went, Travis Hunter just went. These are some of the receiver names that I really like. These younger guys that still have the upside. I mean, Hunter his pedigree last year coming into the draft was so high. He showed flashes last year, but obviously,
I think I've seen reports that he's going to play full-time corner, but I don't know if these are spooky.
Yeah, but I think that's baked into where you're getting him as well.
It's true.
Your premium you were paying last year compared to this year is crazy. So we're up next. I still think we have plenty of flexibility to go wherever we're looking for. Jacoby
Brissett. We could get our first secondary tight end. We could get someone like.
Honestly, I think we might, if we wanted to, we might have to prioritize Brissett here and then close down the quarterback room.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think that's a good point. Yeah, we don't need any more quarterbacks.
Yeah. So that gives us 3 starting viable quarterbacks. A couple of them are stacked up, and that we could shut it down at quarterback. Focus on. Obviously, we could tack on a couple tight ends late. I still like Hunter Henry. There's some names there, so we don't need to focus on that just yet. But we could further build out our running back and receivers moving forward. And then if there's a tight end that's a ADP faller or somebody that we like, we can pull the trigger there. But I think getting those 3 starting quarterbacks week to week that you like and feel comfortable with is important because they dry up pretty quickly.
He could be the Jets' number 1 next year.
Yeah, I mean, if Garrett Wilson gets hurt or something again, he should signs.
Oh, true. Awesome.
But I do think they need receivers. I assume they will take one in the draft, but he did show
Dude,
some.
this might be sneaky. Whoever ends up in San Francisco is always good.
Yeah, I mean, and we have it would be a phantom stack, but we already have we have Mike Evans as well, so build out a small stack in that regard.
So is Kamara just dead? Like,
I just think he's going to get phased out at this point. Like they have a younger, fresher guy. Up in 2 picks. Is there any names that stand out to you in this range?
It's kind of just hard to know because a lot of these people are either not on rosters yet or.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind taking an outside swing at this part of the draft if we had to. I like Emmett Johnson as one of the rookies coming in. If there is a receiver, if you like an Ayuk or a Debo, one of those veteran guys that you think has the opportunity.
We take a swing. We haven't really taken any rookie swings. So.
Yeah, see, I like the Emmett Johnson coming in. If he gets drafted in the right situation, could be a viable option. Gives us an upside swing at this part in the draft where a lot of these receivers and running backs, like you said, they might not be on a team. There's a lot of question marks.
Mm-hmm. I think it would be a lot easier to draft after the NFL draft too. So we'll see which rookies hit those.
But I think, say Emmett Johnson somehow gets high second round value, gets in a great situation, then you just got him in the 13th round. You're kind of taking the swing there. And this was in this part of the draft where there's so many question marks. It kind of makes sense. Mm-hmm. Maybe reach for a guy who has that kind of upside. A couple other rookie receivers down in this range that I think have, again, but some mid-second round to high second round upside.
I know who Evan would take here, Ollie Gordon. Yeah, so this goes 20 rounds. So rounds. I was big on Tesla last year. I thought he would do a little bit more, but did score a number of touchdowns.
He had some spike weeks at the end of the year. He showed some rapport. I don't mind.
I just think it comes down to like opportunity.
I don't hate taking one of these tight ends, getting a little bit more value at tight end. I like Schultz. I like the upside with Barner. If we wanted to go again, Stowers has some draft upside too, depending on his landing spot.
Maybe Barner.
Sure.
If he signs here in year 3.
He showed a spark in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Some consistency down the line, so I like that as an upside play with your starter obviously being Barner gives you some spike weeks.
Touchdown spike weeks.
So what is our build right now? We have 3 quarterbacks. What is it? 5 running backs, 5 receivers, and 2 tight ends. I do think we should build out. I like our receiving core, a strong core. We should probably build out the receiver room a little bit more, in my opinion. Take some younger guys. Take some guys with upside. These are a couple of those names on the middle of the screen there. I like Chris Brazel. I love Jeremy Bernard. Some of those rookies coming in, Elijah Surratt. All those guys that I just mentioned, they have upper second round draft capital. They could even sneak into the back end of the first round. And like I said, you're getting them what round is it? 15 right now, 16. So I love taking swings on some of those guys above a Tank Dell or Malik Washington. Some of those guys that have been in the league a few years and haven't really showed you a whole much.
Trey Tucker did kind of go insane last year then.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a conviction for any of these other receivers, like I said, we're gonna have to take a few stabs at receivers. So if there are any of the other guys you like, by all means, we can be open to options. But I do like taking some of the.
I think we can wait on those rookies for one more round. I think Trey Tucker had some like big spike weeks last week.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe the rookie quarterback.
I mean, that rookie quarterback, he's obviously got to build rapport with someone, and that offense game script wise should be playing from behind. So if they're throwing the ball a lot, Trey Tucker showed that he can earn volume.
Yeah. I think now we just start taking shots at rookies and stuff like that.
Yeah, being that we have 6 proven receivers, like I said, there's a handful of names in this range that I do really like. This, as I mentioned, Chris Brazel. I think Bernard, Jeremy Bernard went before our last pick. Elijah Surratt is another one. Zachariah Branch. Like I said, all those guys have day 2 capital, and who knows?
This could be sneaky, at least for later in the draft. I mean, we got no Kittle for a while, so
yeah. Definitely showed he could be the guy if given the opportunity. Yeah, even if we only hits our lineup a handful of times early in the year, that's still worth the pick at this point. So,
who do you like here?
Honestly, we already took a shot at one of the young running backs. I like Singleton a little bit if we had to take a running back here, but I don't think we need to. Honestly, can you filter just to receivers?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't mind being this late in the draft, pulling up one of these rookies, whether it be Surratt. That would probably be who I would lean here. I know it's early, but like I said, we're at pick 200.
Most of these people are probably not going to hit your lineup anyways, but there's a chance you could hit a target.
If Surratt gets drafted early round 2 to the right situation, I think his ADP is going to skyrocket.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we have some proven receivers already on the team. We're looking for upside swings at this point.
I actually like this team.
Yeah, for
first at running back, but I think our quarterback group's good, our receiver room's good. We have the best tight end. So,
and like I said, if we wanted to take another running back here, I'm not opposed. I think Braylon Allen has some upside. Ray Davis is the number 2 in Buffalo now with receiving upside. There's definitely some names that you could pick.
Jaden Blue, that's your boy.
I wish he would have taken advantage of that opportunity he was handed at the end of the year. He just didn't look like he had the pop that he needed to take advantage of.
Caleb Johnson.
Up in 2 picks. I don't hate Braylon Allen or Ray Davis if you wanted to add one of those guys.
I'd probably lean Ray Davis in case Cook gets hurt. Just we have a little more upside of the Bills offense. If the Breece Hall gets hurt, I think T.J. will just be whatever. So
yeah, they would probably bring it in some sort of committee. I think the Bills have shown that they trust Ray Davis as a secondary role. He has the receiving pedigree. I think he's fine. What is it, 6th running back for us, safe floor. Who knows if he has the opportunity to spike one week. So. Why don't you run through our team, give us the breakdown of where things stand right now?
Okay, so we got Puka, McBride, Etienne, Evans, DJ Moore, Jaden Daniels, Michael Wilson, Dobbins, Corum, Josh Downs, Chris Rodriguez, Daniel Jones, Brissett. I don't know who that is.
Emmett Johnson,
Barter, Tucker, Elijah Surratt, and Ray Davis.
Not bad. Like I said, first draft.
It's not bad for the first draft.
No, I honestly, I like it for our first draft, obviously.
This got a little old here, but there's still upside.
That's known targets. I think that's a high floor. I think those are new situations. I think you've seen the formula where veteran receivers going to new situations has worked.
Yeah, they paid Mike Evans like they assume him to be Mike Evans. So
yeah, I mean. And DJ Moore going to that new situation, getting a paycheck. Obviously, they're going to lean on him as a veteran in that locker room. So,
yep. Elick, I am Manor still on the board. I mean, he got 90 targets last year. I don't think he's amazing, but
Tennessee, I mean, they like those young receivers. I could see them drafting a rookie here, and they brought in Wandell to go along with broken Calvin Ridley. But
I will not be drafting any Bateman this year.
He burnt us a few times last year.
Yeah.
I don't hate taking another receiver here. Just based off of our numbers.
Keon Coleman's dead.
Sean Bailey for New Orleans.
Troy Franklin might score some touchdowns. I don't hate going Franklin here. I mean, he's always like the wide receiver 3 or 4, but they spread it around.
Yeah.
8 seconds left.
I was going to say he showed signs last year, but at the end of the year, they were also using Pat Bryant. So, like you said, there's a lot of mouths in that offense. But he showed that he can earn some targets here and there. Young receiver, he could take the next step, earn a more solidified spot in that offense.
Maybe Kyle Williams could take a step up this year. I mean, he had a number of touchdowns last year, but
the only thing that I would that worries me about Kyle Williams is if or when they're projecting that AJ Brown trade to New England, he might just get lost in that depth chart. But like I said, at this point, you're spraying at receivers, hoping something hits the wall.
Mm-hmm. Matt Collins could be sneaky pick, honestly.
We only have 2 tight ends as well. If we wanted to look at a third tight end, just with maybe some scoring upside.
And the last, let's take a tight end. Maybe get Matt Collins was kind of what's his name's boyfriend. So
yeah, they seem to have a good rapport.
Good chemistry. Sure. Yeah. Okay. I don't hate taking our boy here.
Darnell coming back for some injury. Obviously, if Rodgers comes back, he loved him.
I don't hate taking Darnell here. I feel like it's the most upside. We don't have
the only other name on that list that Miami, for whatever reason, they're pumping Dolchich as their guy now.
I fell for it before.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the sexy pick, and I don't like him. I've never drafted him, but that offense is going to be so bad. They're going to have to throw 1 billion times.
Yeah. It's up to you. Like pick.
No, I'm fine with taking the swing at Darnell.
Okay.
If that's what I mean, like I said, it's a third tight end.
It's always sneaky too. But yeah, third tight end, just upside. Maybe we'll get some touchdowns out of Darnell. Oh, this is the last pick, actually. Yeah, we should probably get a third tight end. So.
Yeah, I think we have a built-out room. We took some swings on some younger guys. I don't mind. Like I said, if McBride does go down, God forbid, for this team, we would want a third tight end just to hopefully hit our lineup with our second pick.
Team's not bad.
No, like I said, I think for our first draft, I think it was it's a good start. Like I said, you're kind of working through the short clock and ADPs where you're not 100% confident where people are. We got some of the names we liked. We got some of the names that we talked about. I think it was a good first draft overall. It was a comfortable team. We weren't reaching terribly for anyone. We were never really out of position where we felt like we had to take a certain position. So I think it was a good start.
Agreed.
Obviously, time will tell with the draft and everything with some of these younger rookies and stuff. But
who won the Hornets game?
I'm not sure.
Oh, it's going to overtime, Eric.
Oh, geez. Do we want to cut this one then and you can tune into that, or do you want to do one more?
I can put it on my phone. We can do one more.
That's fine. I can try to share my screen if you wanted me to take over or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Let me see if I can figure this one out. Share screen.
Should have Rossini on the stream.
Give me 1 second. I think I need to log into my Underdog account here. I had it on the other tab.
I have Charlotte money line. So,
do you want to talk through what you did last year in redraft leagues?
Yeah. So for redraft, I only won 1 out of 3, but in my dynasty leagues, I won both of them.
Nice. So definitely profitable overall, I would assume for.
Yeah, profitable from. So basically, after my BestBall losses, kind of came up even. So.
Yeah, that's good.
But hopefully for BestBall this year, we're gonna.
I had one dynasty league and maybe 4 or 5 redraft leagues. I think I ended up I placed in a few of them. I think I only won 1 league as well, but probably lost a little bit overall.
Yeah. Usually every year I end up winning like two leagues somehow. But
Can you see my screen, Luke?
yeah.
All right. I'll hop in one of these drafts as well. Board.
I'm gonna get a drink. Right back.
Sounds good. Waiting for a hand more players to fill in this draft. It'll be interesting to see where some of the early players or first or second rounders where they finish at the end of this upcoming year. Obviously, I felt like last year a lot of the early second rounds or late first round picks may have underperformed their ADP.
Yeah, they did. This might just be one of the years though that it's a little bit harder.
I think people might be a little jaded by those guys as well. I mean, you're seeing more receivers or running backs being taken in the first round this year than last year. I think running backs seem to be a little more consistent.
I think after doing that first draft, wide receiver so deep. I like people like even in the 10th round. So
yeah, and like I said, I like a lot of those first round rookies as well. So I don't mind taking a couple of the early running backs, maybe two backs through the first 3 rounds, or two through the first 4, and then being able to reach or take your swipe on some of those younger receivers that you think have the upside. So it all depends on your draft capital and where you're picking from, but I don't mind going running back early this year.
I think if Puka falls, though, we just take the discount each time.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you can get Puka mid after pick 4, honestly, I think it's good value.
Good.
Waiting for one more. Let's see where we end up.
Oh, I think you're sharing the wrong screen. Do you have I see like the lobby, but not the wait, I see my screen actually. I think you need to hit share. Does it let you do it?
It says I am sharing. Can you maybe you have to flip it to me?
Oh, let me look. Do you have the draft open or? Oh wait, Claudia was saying Kiwi in
there. It says I'm sharing my only screen. I don't even have my.
I don't know. If you look at YouTube, it's like bugged.
Let me see. So I picked 9. I could try to maybe close it out and reopen it.
Oh wait, try it now. I was still sharing, so maybe hit share again. Okay. Yeah, here we go.
Is it working?
Yeah, now.
Okay. All right, now it looks like it's working. Sorry for that. Well, the draft didn't start, so we didn't miss anything. We got the 9th pick, so we'll have to see who's available at that point.
Someone was saying Kiwi in the chat.
That sounds crazy.
Oh, also Josh Allen. Nala?
Sounds like we have a super fan.
Ooh.
So back end of the first, I know we had already talked about Amon-Ra a little bit. He might be available. I don't hate some of those receivers. Or if we wanted to try to double tap 2 early running backs, we could take a reach for a Cook, a Gentee, or somebody in that regard, and then try to grab a second from that range as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
right. Can you zoom in a little bit?
Yeah, sorry.
Very good.
Better?
Yeah, better. Okay, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I like
Puka
Tupac.
goes 2 in this draft compared to what we got him at 6 last draft.
How many tenders do you get at Canes when you go?
Usually 4.
Oh yeah, that's about today.
Is there anybody in the first round that you're steering clear of completely? First round being top 12.
CD and Justin Jefferson don't really excite me too much.
I see the upside. I understand it, but yeah, I'm not opposed to reaching for a back there either.
So. Yeah, I think where.
So we are on the clock. We have CD and Jefferson are available, or do you want to kind of work through that 2 running back?
Like James Cook and another back maybe, or just at least secure Cook and then get one of.
Yeah, we'll see if another running back that we like comes back to us. Or
James Cook's just so consistent. The problem I have with CD is I think Pickens is like basically puts up similar numbers and you get Pickens in the 20s, so it's just hard for me to click in.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. And then I do think you don't want to get sucked into, Pickens is going to be the number 1 again. I think that did have something to do with injury. But
I think they just spread it around, kind of.
Yeah. Being that there are 2 alpha receivers, it makes CD Lamb less desirable as a first-round pick, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I'd still draft him, but I think
in the right spot.
Rather click Pickens.
I think he's valued well right around that 10, 11, 12 spot. I'm not going to have no exposure, but he's not my favorite click. I'm not in love with Achane. I just think that offense is going to be really bad.
I think Tua could feed Drake London.
Do you want to reach for London, or do you want to grab one of these other backs?
Yeah, one of the backs. I mean, probably Achane is just a god, but
yeah,
he's Miami
offense scares me. But if we wanted, we can try the 2 running back start. Achane should get so much volume. I'm so scared of that offense.
He's just so good.
Just keying on him. But
like they're gonna be so bad, they might just like put him at receiver too.
He should get a lot of touches.
Yeah,
but it gives us a little bit of a different outlook or a different start moving forward. So we have two strong backs, Cook and Achane to start.
I hate going quarterback kind of late here.
Yeah. I don't think, unless he were to fall to us, I don't think we'll have the option to get.
I wonder what like the best week 16 or 17 schedules are.
I'm not even sure they dropped the schedules yet. I'm pretty sure they haven't.
They haven't. No.
So we talked about round 1 a little bit. This is the first I've seen Kenneth Walker getting pulled up to round 1. I think that's a little early, but
I think that's going to happen a lot in the summer.
Yeah. Are there any round 2 running backs or receivers or anybody in round 2 ADP that you don't care for?
For me, Love, even if he's on the Titans and he goes 4, I wouldn't draft him in the second round.
Yeah, the question
is they have too many holes right now, especially on the offensive line and at receiver. So I think he's limited on what he could do there. I think it might be kind of like Saquon on the Giants.
Yeah, I would agree there. The receivers, I think there is that pocket of receivers: London, Collins, Rice at the back end of the second that I like. But I would say honestly, the biggest question mark: if you knew Neighbors was healthy, you could take him in the first round. But being with that injury, I understand why he might fall to later in the second.
Agreed. Someone in the chat said, "Where are all the dogs?"
Bowers makes it back third pick of the third round.
I do like Pickens at 34, honestly.
I was going to say that start for the number 4 spot with JSN, London, and Pickens. It's wide receiver early, but 3 studs. So it's definitely unique. I think definitely good start in my opinion. But
I really like that the Njigba team. Njigba, Drake London, Pickens start.
Yeah. All right, so we're up on the clock. We have Brees, Tat, T. Do you have any conviction there?
Mm,
I like either Ted or Brees, probably.
yeah, like your boyfriend Javante.
So we got Brees there. 3 running backs, high testosterone start.
He could get traded too, so
I don't. I think maybe the smarter pick there was Ted, but we'll see who might come in.
yeah. The clock is too loud. I'm probably taking that too.
I like some of these receivers in this range too, so I'm fine with getting one of these coming back to us. We have 3 stud running backs. We can honestly pause running back for a while now, and we had already mentioned about wanting to take some of those 8th, 9th, 10th round receivers too. So this will put us in a good spot to do that.
I think Burden's gonna have a great year, but as a number 1 receiver, it's kind of
I don't know about this early. Rome had such great draft capital as well. He just hasn't shown it yet. So we're on the clock. I actually really like Devontae Smith, especially with the narrative that AJ Brown's going to get traded. So I'm going to go ahead and make that on my own accord. But I think if you believe the narrative that AJ Brown's gone, if Devontae Smith acting as that true number 1 for the first time, I think his upside being picked in the 4th round. If AJ Brown gets traded, I think his draft capital immediately goes into the.
I do like that actually getting Smith. That's a good point. I think he probably will get traded.
So through 4 rounds, we have 3 running backs: Cook, Achane, and Brees, and then Devontae as our only receiver. But I think, as I mentioned, we can kind of take our eyes off running back for a little while and kind of focus on either receiver or grabbing one of these tight ends or a quarterback that we might like in these next few rounds.
Loveland going 4-7 is interesting.
I do like Loveland in the right position, especially with the how he finished last year.
Yeah, he's strong.
I think he's rightfully the tight end 3 here.
Oh, you'd have him as your tight end 3.
I think so. Is there anybody you like above him still, other than Bowers and McBride?
Maybe I like Fannon's.
I think Fannon's a little further down. I'm not sure who the next tight end off the board would be.
Yeah.
We can take a look real fast. So Warren, Fannon.
I like Warren Fannon.
Above Loveland?
No, like I don't. Like if they were all going in the 70s, it'd be easier. But
sure. I was hoping McLaurin would fall back to us here, but I don't mind some of these other receivers in this range either. Or if one of the quarterbacks did fall to us.
Yeah.
No Lamar fall.
Probably what receiver we think would be drafted first. That'd be Tate probably, but that might be at the Browns, so that's not great.
I like Tate. I like Christian Watson a lot. I think he showed.
Yeah, Watson was their number 1 down the stretch last year. So
yeah, if he has a healthy year, I like Watson's upside.
Yeah.
All right, so we're on the clock. Are you good with Watson here, or do you like?
Yeah, I like Watson. I think that's the safest pick. I mean, that's just envision. Wow. All right, sorry to talk about NBA, but LaMelo Ball just made a layup to win the game.
Hey.
Bob's Hornets.
Did you bet on? Yeah, you bet on the Hornets. You said.
Yeah.
Nice. There you go.
We got Blazers plus 8.5 for the second stint.
So we don't have any stacking options here in regards to quarterbacks. I mean, so we could see who's available whenever we come back on the clock. I don't hate taking one of the rookies here.
I think in the draft, Tate's gonna go first, and then Lemon goes second.
Mm-hmm. But again, it could be if Lamine gets drafted into a better position. I think these guys could be interchangeable in rankings. The only other thing that I would maybe look at here, other than one of those receivers, would be if we liked one of these quarterbacks.
Yeah, I like Alec Pierce too. No more.
I think we should take Tate here. I think he's a little bit of an ADP faller.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe he could go in a good situation.
Yeah.
Like, what if he went to the Chiefs?
Or the Giants?
Yeah.
So that evens out our exposure a little bit. So we have 3 running backs, 3 receivers to start. James Cook, Devon Achane, Breece Hall, Devontae Smith, Christian Watson, and Carnell Tate. We'll have to see who comes back to us. I wouldn't mind grabbing a quarterback in one of our next 2 picks, depending on who's there and if there's anything that makes sense. But pretty balanced start, obviously. Ooh, so somebody in the 6th spot went Lamar and Drake May back to back.
I think I like our first team better, but you never know.
Sure. I mean, it's definitely it was a very different build. I mean, starting off going 3 running backs is going to put you in a spot where you're probably not in love with your receiver room.
But I think if AJ Brown does get traded, Smith could probably go. I mean,
I think he would go like second, third turn.
Second round. Like, I don't know if I would like Nico Collins over Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I think he fits well right in that Nico Collins range with him, London, Rice, AJ Brown.
Devontae Smith might actually turn into a love for me just with the situation.
Sure. And I think from what I've heard recently, I think the writing's on the wall that it's only a matter of time before AJ Brown gets traded. So
yeah,
I've seen people drafting AJ Brown with Drake May as a stack, and then also drafting Devontae Smith with Hurts. So kind of working both stacks on the same team, hoping and assumingly so that the trade was already happening. But
the second of the team is pretty good.
The second spot here.
Yeah.
Waddle, Rome, Metcalf. Yeah, I do like that team. Very balanced as well.
I really don't like Tyler Algier in the 7th round, dude.
That Arizona backfield just going to be very messy.
Crowded.
And that's the nice thing about having those 3 running backs up front is we don't have to mess around with is Algier going to be your starter.
Yeah. Like, I know James got hurt last year, but he's like still their team captain. There's no way he's not playing.
We're up in 2 picks. I don't hate grabbing a quarterback here. We have Philly Green Bay. Even if we took like a naked quarterback, I wouldn't mind taking a quarterback in this range. Is there anybody else on the board that you like? Honestly, I think for me, it would probably be Caleb, just because he's a 10-pick ADP baller.
Yeah, take the ADP.
Either that or Fannin. We'll take Caleb. I think he's a more pressing need. I do like Fannin there as well.
Yeah.
We could have pushed. We could have picked Fannin and then pushed one of these other quarterbacks in this range as well, but we'll see.
I loved Tucker Kraft last year. Sadly, I'm injured.
I love Tucker Kraft again this year.
I think he's like the best player. Wouldn't be horrible to stack him with Watson.
Yeah, that's a good point. If Fannin does if Fannin comes back to us, I think that'd be a no-brainer. But if he does go, well, Fannin is available. Do you want to pull the trigger on Fannin, or do you like Kraft ahead of him?
Fannon's a pretty good ADP faller, so maybe let's just take the unique stack right here. But I like Kraft as well.
Fannin over Kraft
Yeah.
or what?
Yeah, let's just take Fannon's falls ADP.
Yeah, I like Fannin. I think he just showed the report last year that he could be the guy. I think either was a good pick. Like I said, Kraft was a little more correlated, but Fannin I think might be. You're looking for that true breakout year too. He could be the next guy. So in that turn, we kind of addressed both of our onesies. We took our first quarterback in Caleb Wilson, and then an upper echelon tight end in Harold Fannin. Both of them fallers. So we got Caleb 12 picks, 13 picks beyond ADP, and Fannin 8 picks beyond ADP. So both good values. I think they're both positions of need and kind of stabilizes. Again, we can kind of go in any direction. We have a 1-3-3-1 build through 8 rounds. So
running back's pretty strong.
Super strong. I think obviously taking the 3 in the first 3 rounds, it really gives you the flexibility to kind of look in other directions. We don't have to take another running back for another 3 rounds if we don't love anybody on the board.
I think normally I'm gonna just this year kind of avoid any Jets player. But
sure.
You never know. Brees could bounce back here.
Yeah, and I think they did spend some of their capital, whether it be, we'll see what they do in the draft, but in free agency on their line. Obviously, they need to protect Geno or whoever they have back there. So hopefully Brees can make do. He's obviously going to be one of their best weapons with him and Garrett Wilson. So I do still believe in Brees Hall. In best case scenario, he might get traded.
Yeah, someone got good value on Kraft there. How do you feel about
so they have Kraft and Bowers?
Dubs in New England. Dubs.
Who is that? Dobbs?
Dobbs, yeah.
I think it addressed their need. I think he'll have good value there. He'll take over what Diggs did last year and is a little bit younger, might be just as good of a route runner. I like him as a prospect out there. And again, I think it depends if A.J. Brown goes out there as well. If Brown doesn't go there, I think he's great value. I like this Ranger receiver. I like Addison. I like Dobbs. I like Godwin. I think Pearsall has great upside still.
Yeah, I kind of loved Pearsall last year, but he just didn't take the bounce, I thought.
He should have every opportunity this year. He should be a 1B next to an aging Mike Evans. But
who's available right now? Jackson Dart that early, I hate.
Lots of quarterbacks. So we got Purdy, Nix, Stafford, Goff, Mike Pittman, and Jaden Reed at receiver. Or, like I said, if we wanted to go receiver, I love Concepcion.
I don't hate getting just like a rookie team because this is kind of a weird team we have. So what if Tate and what's his name go crazy?
Yeah, and if Concepcion gets drafted first round to a good spot, the only other receiver that I might pick or consider picking would be Reed, just because we already have.
Since we could stack, we
basically have all But I honestly like Concepcion better than Reed, being that he's probably going to be the second option to Watson. But I'm good with either of those guys. We're on the clock. Which one do you like? I'm
just taking let's take a little upside team here.
Yeah, I like it. If Casey Concepcion goes to in the first round top 20 pick, like I said, getting him in the ninth round, that's going to be an absolute steal at pick 105.
Mm-hmm.
He'll end up going in the 5th or 6th round. So good value. I like taking the upside swing there in this room. We got 2 young rookies, but both with projected high draft capital. So up in a couple more picks. If we wanted to think about a stack, we could pull the trigger on Love here with Watson.
I think that's a bad idea. Yeah.
Otherwise,
or we could get Golden, maybe hope Golden has a better year too.
So we're on the clock. Reed went. I don't mind taking Love here, and then we can just tack on a third quarterback late.
Yeah, we could do that.
So we grab a second quarterback there, 2 quarterbacks in that in the middle rounds with Williams and Love. We stole over 3 stud starting running backs in the first 3 rounds: Cook, Achane, and Brees. We add another rookie receiver, so we have Devontae Smith, Christian Watson, Carnell Tate, and Casey Concepcion, and then Harold Fannin at tight end. Like I said, more of an upside receiver room. We're gonna have to tack on a few more names that we like in these next few rounds, but like I said, your receiver room, we're just gonna have to start taking swings because we spent the capital early on the running backs. So.
Yeah. I don't hate getting some like safer guys like Shakir. I mean, he's not going
to
week.
Look for some volume guys down the stretch.
Some volume guys.
But like I said, I think this is the range where we're going to have some of those names where maybe they're not the most sexy picks, but just like you said, your volume or your earners. And because we spent the capital early on running back, other people might be looking at quarterback or running backs now, and we'll be able to scoop up some of the value at receiver.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I love getting, like, I do think Shuck has some decent upside. Kyler has some upside.
I do like Shuck.
But I love grabbing a couple of these earlier quarterbacks and just getting your established guys that you can kind of lean on, even after, like I said, your Murray, your Shuck, your Darnold. They're just not as comfy, in my opinion, as Love might be, especially when you have them stacked up. But
I just like Shuck's rushing upside.
Sure. I think if we had New Orleans receivers, I think it makes sense as well. Shuck, you can take him naked if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But being that we already had Watson, I think it made sense to get Love there. Let's see. Up in a couple picks. We can get your Chris Rodriguez take if you like him. I like Jane Higgins as a year 2 guy. I know you had mentioned Shakir as well for a volume pick there.
I'd probably go a volume pick with Shakir just for a roster conception.
Yeah, I like that. And then again, if we're looking for upside, there's another guy. I think he just went actually. Yeah, Omar Cooper's another first-round pedigree guy that I like, but we already took 2 stabs early, so we don't want to go too crazy. I think, like you said, it makes sense to get a volume guy. Shakir naturally goes right before us. I don't mind Higgins. Do you like one of these running backs? Is anybody else standing out to you? I think Higgins might be the pick otherwise.
Yeah, our receivers are really thin. So
yeah, I think we need receiver. Go off of the fact that Higgins did show some report on the stretch with Stroud, even though that offense might not have been the most potent. But
this could be like a 5 running back build, honestly.
Yeah. Like I said, I think if we tack on 1 or 2 more, we might be able to shut it down pretty early.
Maybe get
if you like one of these running backs in this range, we don't have to completely shut it down.
Mason was solid last year.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Jones is only getting older. If Mason takes over more of the valuable touches in that offense,
I think that offense is going to be a little bit better with Kyler. So
plus he's at this point,
I would probably take Mason here.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're at pick 136. Jordan Mason ADP 120, so we're getting a big follower there.
Yeah, that's a really good 4th running back.
Yeah, comfy, good upside.
Yeah, we can't see it now, but sometimes those round 1 receivers go insane. So maybe if we have Brian Thomas on our hands, and
sure,
team's looking a lot different. So,
I mean, that's the whole the benefit and fallback of drafting these teams before the actual NFL draft. You don't know landing spots or anything, but you have to draft some of these guys knowing that they're first-round talents with the assumption or the hope that they land in the right spot.
If the Steelers drafted a wide receiver in round 1, I'd probably hate him for fantasy, but
but he could be. you still have to respect the draft capital and assume he'll get targets.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are definitely a few landing spots in the first round. Obviously, with Cleveland or some of those other teams, that might not be as ideal. But if a team is spending the draft capital, you have to expect them to get the high usage. So good to see, for us at least, a decent run on running backs. There are only one receiver off the board since our last pick. I know it's something we need to prioritize. A lot of quarterbacks coming off the board, which, again, we have two good quarterbacks on our team already. I don't feel the need to reach for a third at this point. Hopefully, when we come back, we'll have our pick of another good slot of receivers.
How do you feel about Cam Ward this year?
I hope he takes the pick. I think they're going to build around him. I think they're giving him more weapons. I think that offense showed last year the line is still good. I mean, their running game was good. I think he has the ability to take that next step.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody here that's screaming your name? There's one receiver that I like in this range. I think I mentioned him last draft. So we're on the clock. If I had to one pick, I'd probably take Travis Hunter here just for the upside.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Maybe he plays offense this year, so
I think I like him better than Judy and some of these older receivers that might not even be on the team right now. I just think of the pedigree last year. If he does play offense this year, if he gets the usage, I mean, if 1 year ago he was being drafted like the 5th round, so we're getting a major discount. You can look at a second tight end here if it makes sense, or do a Brees. We don't have any other Jets. I was going to say the quarterback room is drying up a little bit. Geno might be an option, or Rodgers if we wanted to tack on a third late, but anybody else in this range? We're up in 2 picks that you like or you think would be a decent value here.
Brendan Strange never really comes off the field, so if we do we have another tight end?
We just took Hunter, so we have a Jacksonville piece already. I like Stranger.
I think he's right here. He's the safest person on the board. I mean,
and like I said, we have a young tight end, so this two solid tight end options. I think it makes sense. And after that, honestly, with Chig, Hawkinson, Barner, I don't feel as comfortable. Like you said, I think Strange is a solid option. Gonna get volume past ADP.
So we have Fannin, Strange.
Yep. So I'll do a recap. So we have Caleb and Jordan Love at quarterback. 4 running backs. We have James Cook, Achane, Breece Hall, Jordan Mason. Receiver, we have Devontae Smith, Christian Watson, Carnell Tate, Casey Concepcion, Jaden Higgins, Travis Hunter, and then 2 tight ends with Harold Fannin and Brendan Strange. So it's a 2-4-6-2 build. I don't feel, like I said, still have options to build out the receiver room a little more. I think that's probably our weakest spot, but that was to be expected with the 3 early running backs. I do like our upside with some of the young guys that we got, hoping for either second-year breakouts with Higgins or Travis Hunter, but also first-year breakouts with some of the younger receivers with round 1 upside with Concepcion and Tate.
I'm just hoping that A.J. Brown will get traded, and also Watson continues to be the one, and then our receiver really isn't that bad.
And that's how you paint the picture for one of these like 0 wide receiver rooms almost, where you're not taking your first receiver until round 4.
Yeah.
And again, we see kind of to our advantage on this side of the board, only 1 receiver off the board in the next 8 picks or so. So like I said, needing to build out a receiver room kind of works in our advantage. So this part of the draft is kind of
tough.
But you still have 4 backs. We have 6 receivers. Is there a running back in this range you like? Is there any of these receivers? I know you had mentioned A.D. Mitchell.
I do like A.D. Mitchell. I did like Christian Kirk last year. But,
I don't know Kirk there.
Seems whatever receiver is on San Francisco ends up being relevant. So last year, Kendrick Bourne was like amazing for like 4 games.
In Christian Kirk's always been a target earner. So, do you want to go? Mitchell went off the board. He had the only correlation we had to hit was him with Brees. I'm fine with bringing up Kirk here. If that's
you could take a Tank Dell's looking healthy and some highlights, but
he honestly, where do you see Tank Dell? Oh, he's right below.
yeah, he'll be back next.
I like the safety with Kirk.
Me too.
We have a little more question marks above him.
If Tank Dell falls, we could get Tank Dell and pair him with Higgins. Then we kind of got. Yeah, Collins is kind of injury prone in my opinion. So.
We're up in 2 picks. Tank Dell is still on the board if that's somebody we're leaning toward. I don't love any of these running backs. I wouldn't mind just tacking on a rookie late and calling it for the running back room, considering we have 4 pretty solid guys already.
Yeah. Dylan Sampson did play a good amount last year, even when what's his name came back.
Yeah, Judkins. And if Judkins starts the year hurt, it's an option.
Sean Tucker is he's gonna hit your lineup as well.
Who's that?
Sean Tucker. He just red zone. He plays.
Yeah, he definitely scored a bunch last year. So there are some running backs in this later range that we might like. So we did end up taking Dell there.
I like that because we got, Higgins and Dell.
Yeah. Like I said, we're just taking shots at receivers at this point. Like I said, one of these younger guys takes that next step, hopefully, and you get some stability with Kirk there. And like I said, I do like this next range of receivers. I would like to tack on maybe one more of these rookies with high pedigree in the next 2 picks. But we could see. If we wanted to add one more quarterback, we could do so. If we wanted to add a third tight end late, we could also do so. But I don't feel obligated to add both. Or
could Wicks be the number 2 in Philly, or do you think they're going to draft someone?
I think it depends if they move A.J. Brown as well. But I think he could be behind
that might not be a bad ad for our team.
Sure. Yeah, we can keep an eye on that.
What if he's the 2 or 3? He's gonna,
Yeah, and he showed in Green Bay that he was able to earn targets when he was on the field. They did trade for him, and I think they gave him a new contract as well. So if they're planning to use him,
dude, Kamara going this late is kind of sad, honestly.
End of an era.
Yeah. I think Njoku, depending on the team he goes to, like, say, what if he went to the Rams? Like, he's definitely going to breeze about it.
Yeah, I do like his upside. I also like Gunnar Helm. I know Tennessee's kind of a gross pick, but if you're, as we mentioned with Ward, if they're building around him and they're looking for weapons for him, they spent the capital on Helm last year. Chig goes to Washington, so he's going to be their tight end 1. I think he's a good tack on for a team that already has some decent tight ends. We're up next. Wicks did go. Do we want to go? Do we feel like we need to pull the trigger on either Rodgers or one of these tight ends, or do you like something else here?
We could get Braylon Allen with Brees, or we could get Rodgers. It really doesn't matter to me. We have a couple holes, so
let's go Rodgers.
Yeah, he's the last quarterback available.
Yeah, we could shut it down at quarterback. Well, I like Jeremy Bernard as a rookie or Surratt as a rookie, but we don't necessarily need to do that. If one of these other backs, you had mentioned Braylon Allen, or if one of these tight ends, if we wanted to take another tight end, we could do that as well.
I like 3 tight end builds.
I do too. But are there any names like you had mentioned Tongas?
I like Tongas and Njoku both. Like Tongas look great to me. I don't really know why they phased them out so much when Kittle came back. I thought they could use them both, but
yeah, I don't mind taking Tongas on our next pick. I think he should follow us, being that these 2 are above him.
Mm. They might ease. So like they could ease Kittle back in next year, definitely too, even when he does come back. Especially if they're winning, like they could kind of just save him till more than.
Yeah, and Kittle obviously is very injury prone, so Tonga showed that he could be that tight end one.
Yeah.
So Braylon Allen does go. I don't love any of the other backs here. I think we should take a swing at one of these receivers here. I assume you don't really have a preference between the two.
No preference. Yeah, we'll see. I guess more.
I'll go with the ADP. Like I said, I think both Bernard and Surratt are mid to high second round prospects. If they land in the right spot, I think they could be great values in this range. So I like taking a swing at one of those guys just for the upside. And then hopefully Tongas comes back to us here. If not, we can look at what other tight ends are available. But I think our next pick should be a running back with upside or a running back that we like, and then a tight end. And that, I'm not sure how many picks would be after that, but.
So 2 more rounds of round 20 to round 18. Or 3 more.
Let's see what running backs.
Your boy Jane Blue.
Honestly, the Justice Hill
he's consistent. He had a little bit of a down year, but he's still getting on the
balls here and there. We're really looking for spike weeks. He's not a sexy pick, but
no, I always liked getting Justice Hill in my best ball teams. Like he plays, you know.
Yeah, and he catches balls. He has that upside. He scored a couple times. I know he hit lineups last year, a handful. And when you're in the 19th round, that's all you're kind of looking for is somebody that's gonna spike.
He will hit your lineup probably once. I can't say the same for
some of these guys aren't even.
I think Jaden Blue is gonna hit your lineup once.
Maybe if he's given the opportunity. Javonte might just not get hurt though.
Yeah.
So Tongas does go. I don't hate Gesicki if he comes back.
No, me neither. He scores.
I think he's the best value left on the board. Unless you like Ingram, but I think Gesicki's a little safer. And Gesicki obviously would go as well.
I thought Evan Ingram was going to have a good season last year. He did not. Zach Ertz was great last year for a bit.
He was. So we're up next. I think Hill went as well. Is there any other running backs that you like in this range?
I mean, maybe Jaden Blue plays a little bit more this year. It's probably.
Yeah, I'm a sucker. I was a sucker for Blue last year. It was like one of my highest exposures.
I think he started playing a little bit more towards the end of the season.
I think with our running back room, we spent the capital early. If we're just looking for an upside swing, if Javonte does
the best there,
maybe Blue takes that step, earns a little more volume, and then we can see tack on one of these tight ends late.
Maybe like Dawson Knox. I mean, he's going to hit that zone a couple of times.
Yeah.
Not sexy, but
none of these picks are sexy, but
no.
So we'll do a recap after this one. And like I said, obviously these are more testing the waters with these early drafts. You kind of are working through ADPs and trying different builds, see which ones you like more. Like you said, I think we probably felt a little more comfortable with that first build. But who knows? Like I said, if the running back is the ticket this year and we grab 3 early, maybe this one works out as well. So good to see you try different things.
Yeah.
So we'll grab Knox here. I think that does it.
Yeah, it's a little team.
So quick recap of this team as well. So we went and ended up being a 3-5-9-3 build. We did Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, and Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. 5 running backs with 3 taken in the first 3 rounds. We did James Cook, Devon Achane, Breece Hall, Jordan Mason, and Jane Blue. 9 wide receivers. Devontae Smith, Christian Watson, Carnell Tate, and Casey Concepcion, both rookies with first-round draft capital potentially. Jaden Higgins, Travis Hunter, both second-year guys. We're hoping they take that next step. Christian Kirk, Tank Dell, and Jeremy Bernard. And then 3 tight ends with hoping, again, another second-year guy with Fannin taking that next step. and Strange and Knox with hopefully some volume and spike weeks. So overall, pretty balanced team with some early running backs and some different exposure than the first draft that we did. Again, like I said, it's definitely a different setup and kind of working through ADPs, learning and taking some question mark swings before the draft. But overall, not too bad. Any final thoughts or what do you? Anything you like, you don't like, or thoughts before the draft? Anything else that stands out to you?
It's a little tough going 3 running backs in a row, but the chance is we have 3 really strong running backs, and then we hit late on a couple of those receivers, so you never know.
Yeah, so I guess if we were to make a change by going 3 running backs in a row, what swap would you make there? Instead of taking Brees, which receiver would you like in that range? I guess it would be going this way. So it would be Wilson.
Honestly,
Ted.
Yeah, I probably would have taken Garrett Wilson. Hopes he had a turnaround year with Geno.
So to make the swap, I guess we would have probably gone 2 receivers there unless we pulled up Travion or something like that. What twosome swap would you like better? Do you like Brees and Devontae or Wilson and Travion or Wilson and one of these other receivers? If you had to compare the two.
Wait, so it went
so
right.
Brees and Devontae. Say we swap in Garrett Wilson. Do you
I like Devontae there, honestly. I think it's good upside. I wouldn't change the Devontae pick.
Yeah.
Probably just switch out. Yeah, Brees with Garrett Wilson or maybe Igbuka. I mean, Igbuka.
And then maybe instead of Watson, if you swap in Garrett Wilson, maybe instead of Watson, you'd look at one of these backs.
Yeah.
One of them.
I mean, no Mike Evans in Tampa anymore. Buka's going to have to take a step up. So
sure.
Maybe we wouldn't have had to take Igbuka. Oh, he went before Brees, though. So. But ideally, I would have liked to have Igbuka fall right there, and I would have taken him.
Sure.
And if we just had Igbuka and Devontae Smith and Christian Watson, that's not bad. We have 2 good runners.
Yeah, and then you can take a back here, whether it be I mean, you can take a swing and see who's available at that point. But, yeah, that would be more comfy if Igbuka did fall there. But, like I said.
I do like Igbuka this year.
Yeah, I see the picture. I mean, I think he's going to get great volume with Evans gone. They're going to have somebody step up. Godwin is a little injury prone. Igbuka showed that he could do it last year. So, but I think it was a good start. Like I said, it's good exposure, testing the waters. But I think that's all for today, unless there's anything else you think is worth sharing.
No, that's all. Yeah, good first back stream, and hopefully it will be in the prize money this year.
Yeah, we'll try to do more streams as maybe after the draft actually happens. But
yep,
good start.
All right, see you, Eric.
All right, man.